All right, all right. This is the Arrow Podcast. I am Michael Chaos. Let's go over this Kansas City Chiefs win over the Broncos. Let's jump in.
Red and gold. Red and gold. Red and gold.
Once again, I am Michael Chaos. I am also the Arrow Podcast, your host, obviously. Help me help you, man. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Help the algorithm so I can keep making these vids for you kids. You feel me? I just came up with that freestyle. Anyways, let's jump right into this. Broncos, Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs got the dub. Guys, I usually put these out a little later because I need to calm down to keep these videos PG-13. Because if I was to just do them right after the game, for some of these games, except for against the Bears, they wouldn't be PG-13. 19-8. The defense continues to show up. Okay, lot of pressure. Lot of QB hits. By the way, Charles Omenihu comes back next week, fellas. Those of you that don't know who Charles Omenihu is, look him up. All right. Yeah, so we're gonna get a pretty significant boost on our defensive line, guys. You'll see what I'm talking about momentarily. That game was ugly. It was ugly. So obviously, I hate not being able to talk about because there's really nothing to say about the defense. The defense will be for another video because I'll just be simply talking about what a beautiful sight it is. What a beautiful sight it is to watch the defense nowadays, man. Because those of you that know, and those of you that are with Chiefs Kingdom, you guys know what it's like to not have a defense. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're playing outrageous, fellas. This defense is getting fun to watch. It's actually funner to watch the defense than it is the offense. The offense is getting painful to watch, guys. Honestly, it's getting painful. It was weird, okay, because I will say this. Today, speaking on the offense, the chemistry was somewhat there. It does still seem like the receivers aren't getting open. I'd have to see the all 22 to kind of see exactly. The play calling was bad, bro. What to me is happening? What happened in this game is the play calling. It was called plays were being called at the wrong time. Okay, we weren't trickling in the plays correctly. We weren't combining the plays correctly. We weren't calling them at the right time, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? There was times where we would run down the field. The next thing you know, first down, we're running again. When maybe we should do a little bit, which we don't do play action much. That ain't us. But, just kind of switch it up a little bit just to kind of keep people on their toes. Everything was a little too vanilla, man. It was a lot of curl routes. It was a lot of freestyling from Travis Kelce because now, obviously, that is because of how the defenses are playing us. Everyone's dropping back, bro. Linebackers, corners, safeties, everyone's dropping back and keeping us in front of them because they fear Mahomes. Mahomes strikes fear in everyone's hearts. Obviously, just watch how every single defense plays us. Period. There was a opportunity for Justin Watson to catch a deep ball, which if he would have stayed on his feet would have been a touchdown. He probably would have fell, though, because he would have dove for it. But he dropped the ball. And it's just the story she wrote. Now, Justin Watson gets a pass, fellas, because he's been the only one catching the deep balls. So I give him a pass, but if he catches the ball, come on. Game would look a little different towards the end. Obviously, would have been well, I don't know if it would have been a touchdown, because he probably, like I said, wouldn't have been able to stay on his feet. But either or, we'll never know because he dropped the ball, which has been an ongoing issue with us. But Rashee Rice, 2 games, hasn't dropped the ball. He's panning out, just like I've said, just like if you go back in my videos, he's going to be the guy. He's more and more reminding me of kind of a Sammy Watkins type. It looks. I don't know if those are specific routes that he's supposed to route, because some routes look like he's supposed to be, running curls, slants, and it looks like he's kind of stopping because he doesn't want to run into the defenders, obviously, because how every defense is playing us, it's like a cover 2 zone. Everyone's dropping back, bro. It's 8-7 people dropping back in coverage, bro. They're sending 5 rarely, but rushing us with 4. So, that's how everybody's been playing us. Obviously, that's how you have to play us. Can't blame them for it. But it's just crazy, man, because it's like it's gonna be a while till we really start opening up, because we gotta bring guys up. But Pacheco, 98 yards, 36 yards receiving, and 62 yards rushing. Pacheco has better vision. See, Pacheco last year to me lacked vision, something I didn't think was fixable. But guys, he fixed it. There was a few times he bounced outside where he was trying a little too hard. You got to understand that when you're playing a safety like I think it's Justin Simmons from the Broncos, he's a very solid. He's one of the top safeties in the league. When you're playing a safety like that, you gotta, you gotta watch out, busting out to the outside, bouncing out to the outside. Excuse me. You gotta kind of watch. You gotta know when to do it and when not to. You feel me? You gotta be careful with that because he's solid. Very, very good safety. There was a few times he bounced out to the outside where I figured he could have gotten 3, 4, 5 yards, and he ended up getting a loss of 1 or nothing. So, but for the most part, guess what? I'll take that because that's what he didn't do last year. And guys, I'm seeing a big difference in Pacheco's vision. He's seeing it. He's seeing the field now, fellas. Last year, I felt like one of his big issues was he was too. He followed. Obviously, when you're a running back, you're told to hit a hole, right? Whatever hole he was told to hit, he hit no matter what. Last year is what it seemed like to me. This year, he's coming along, fellas. So I no longer still, guys. I've missed Kareem Hunt, fellas. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I can move on now. I can move on to Pacheco, fellas. I can finally move on from Kareem Hunt. Now, guys, I understand last year Pacheco did his thing towards the end of the season, which, give or take, he didn't have much opportunity in the beginning. But when he first started getting the ball, yeah. So, yeah, last year I was kind of like, oh, I still miss Kareem Hunt. But towards the end, playoffs, Super Bowl, obviously, Pacheco. But I still didn't forget. But now, I've moved on. So, we are running the ball a little bit more, guys. 16 rushes for Pacheco. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but for us, for the Chiefs, yeah, it's a lot, bub. It's a lot. So, yeah. But other than that, guys, MVS still not getting the ball. I don't even think he had a target. If you count the ball thrown out of the end zone, a target, I don't even think he had a target. If he did, he had 1, and I don't even remember it. I'll have to go back and look. I don't understand why he's not getting the ball. I don't understand why there's no packages for him, dog. I don't understand. Okay? So, Yeah. Justin Watson, same. I think he had 1 target, which he did drop. They need to stop this stuff with Kadarius Toney. The jet sweeps, not necessarily jet sweep, but the sweeps with Kadarius Toney, they have to stop or disguise it better, because every time it's a sweep to Kadarius Toney, everyone's waiting for it. Period. They got to stop that or execute it better or disguise it better. Just stop. Give it to Rashee Rice. Is a better runner than Kadarius Toney. Yes, I said that. Kadarius Toney has the hips, this and that, da-da-da. Yeah, I understand that. But, guys, he hasn't really done much and didn't really do much last year when it came to jet sweeps. Kind of, but no. Look at Rashee Rice after he catches the ball, his yak. Okay, yards after catch. Look at Rashee's yak. His yak is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay? Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, he's squeezing through holes. He's faster than I thought he was, too, by the way, guys. Rashee Rice is faster than I thought he was. So, yeah. I think that's the guy that's going to be the guy. No Justin Ross as usual, but that's probably due to 2 drops last week. Last week. When you're Justin Ross or you're the 7th receiver, you cannot afford to drop balls right in your chest. You can't afford to drop. You can't. And you can't drop 2 passes, 2 very catchable passes. You can't do that. So that's probably why we didn't see him. I'm sure we'll see him a little bit later down on the road, though, because obviously he's talented, and we got to give him a pass. Because, like I said, Rashee Rice was, first 3 games. First 3 or 4 games, he was dropping balls. But the last 2 games, which obviously today and the last week, he didn't drop 1 pass. So, Rashee Rice is looking lovely. Other than that, I love Matt Nagy. I want to blame Matt Nagy, but Matt Nagy's not calling the plays. It's Andy Reid. I think Matt Nagy has a responsibility for preparation, though. So is preparation. Some of these games we've looked unprepared offensively. Game plan. No. We've had to make too many adjustments, bro. The game against the Bears was obviously the only game that from start to finish we were, obviously dominant. But not just dominant. Like, I don't want to see, domination. I just want to see chemistry throughout the entire game. Maybe not even the entire. I'll give you a quarter, maybe another quarter and a half. But, guys, I'm seeing drives that are just like, bro, I don't want to talk about it. The fake punt on 4th and 2. Mahomes interception. The interception. I understand his arm got hit, but guys, come on, Mahomes. It's year 6 or 7, one of the 2. We got to stop that, brother. We got to stop that. But at the end of the day, Mahomes is Mahomes. Gets a pass. But, yeah, we've looked a little ill-prepared. I do think some of it is what I think is actually, in all actuality, happening as a whole. It's multiple. It's not just the receivers getting open, but it's also Mahomes not having chemistry with these guys. Now, it's starting to become a little concerning. It is. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's getting a little concerning because I'm seeing every single game he's holding the ball way too long. I've never seen him hold the ball that long. Guys, he does roll out. He does hold he's not known for getting the ball out fast, right? But this is way too long. I'm starting to feel like these penalties, these holding penalties, aren't necessarily the tackle's fault, man. They're still adjusting. And By the way, Juwan Taylor had one penalty, which compared to previous games, except for last game because he had none. Oh my God, that's a round of applause, fellas. They're cleaning it up, and that's a start. They're cleaning it up. Now, I will also say, even though we only scored one touchdown, and Harrison Bucker, our kicker, had 12 points. Yeah. You know, our kicker had 12 points and put us on his back. 60-yard field goal, by the way. Whoa. I still seen chemistry. Our offense did look a little bit better. I will say that. So, not necessarily than last week, but I seen chemistry compared to, you know, obviously excluding the Bears, but previous weeks, excluding the Bears game. Obviously, it's the Bears. So, and yeah, you know, some people are gonna say the Broncos have the worst scoring defense in the league. Yeah, but it's a divisional game, and no matter how bad the Broncos are, we never steamroll the Broncos. It just, every time we play the Broncos and the Chargers, I'm just like, this is how I watch the game. That's how I watch the game when we play the Chargers and the Broncos. No matter what year, no matter what number one defense, number one offense, or number one O-line, number one it doesn't matter. That's how I watch all Broncos and all Charger games. Raiders, on the other hand, yeah, they're the Raiders. So, yeah. But, yeah. Little bit better, but still a long way to go, fellas. We got the Chargers, which, yeah, I'll be biting my nails that game. I'm a little nervous about that one. Then the Broncos again, which I'm not too worried about that. Every single time we play these guys, usually the first game is harder than the next, usually for the most part. And then we got the Dolphins after that, though. This offense, yeah, they got to come out. The next two games, this offense got to be rolling, bro. Or guys, I'm going to say it. I mean, Dolphins could possibly be an L. Straight up. I'm a realist, man. I'm you know, now this ain't the playoffs. I obviously wouldn't say the Dolphins ain't, you know, this ain't the playoffs. But in the regular season, if we don't clean this up in the next 2 weeks more, then that Dolphins game is going to be rough. All right? So that's about it. That's all I got, guys. Defense, obviously, that's going to be a whole nother video because I got some things I do want to point out. Nick Bolton looked a little rusty. You know, obviously he hasn't played a few games. 3 games I think he missed. 2 or 3 games. Drew Tranquil. Trent McDuffie. Oh my gosh. Told you guys. I told you. Best corner. Our best corner. Don't get me wrong. L'Jarius Sneed's coming along. But Trent McDuffie is still ranked number 1 on PFF. Per PFF. Which I don't. PFF is just a guide. You know, it's not everything for me. But he is ranked number 1. The number 1 corner in the league right now. And he's shown it and proving it. So he's becoming a lockdown corner, fellas. Like I told you he would if you kind of go back to my first few videos. But that's about it. Like I said, that's going to be for another video for you guys. Once again, I am your host, Michael Chaos. This is The Arrow Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Help me help you, fellas, so I can keep these suckers rolling. You know what I mean? I'm out trying.
Running out of time. 1-5, catch me in the end.